Hello everyone, this is Bernie from Raine&Horne in Saratoga. Welcome to the Wharf Report, recorded every Monday from the New Brighton Public Wharf. Short and sharp this week with new properties for sale. We've got 17 Alcumi Close in Davistown. That property was listed last week. It's 607 square metres on the waterfront reserve. It's got some mangrove in front of it, but also good water views. Now that property is 2-storey. It is renovated inside and is in a quiet cul-de-sac at the end of Kincumber Crescent in Davistown, and it should be pretty good, so please have a look when you get down there. Also 178 Henderson Road in Saratoga, a little bit smaller at 540 square metres, but it's got a pool, very well presented, and it should be a big hit, especially with summer coming up at the end of the year. Now I did want to mention something that happened within the Raine&Horne team last week. One at 104 Ocean View Drive in Wamberal was sold by two of our team members, Cameron and Kira, and that was a phenomenal result. Why? Because only 2 years ago that property sold for $805,000. On Friday they sold that same home for $960,000. So there's 20% growth there over the last 2 years, 10 every year. That's awesome. Very recently I was asked by some clients of ours what to do in the following situation. You're selling your property and you've negotiated a sale with your potential purchaser, and the cooling off period expires. But before that happens, the buyer asks for an extension in the cooling off period. So for some of you that have done this before, that will be due to a couple of reasons. Usually it's finance or a pest and building issue that's come up that needs to be sorted out. And as a seller, you might think to yourself, is it a good idea? Should I extend that cooling off period or cut it short there and pass it on to the next purchaser? The question that you've got to ask yourself is obviously, why are your buyers asking for an extension in the cooling off period? If it's a fairly simple reason and it can be resolved relatively easily, I'd say go for it. You got to remember that if you did go ahead and pass it on to a new buyer, they're probably going to want to enter into a cooling off period for 5 days with you anyway. So it's not like you're gaining any sort of advantage in terms of time frame. So where you can, we would suggest that maybe give them that extension in time, and it might see everybody get a happy ending to the story. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Bernie from Raine&Horne, and if anybody else has any other questions, please feel free to send them our way and we'll answer them as best and as quickly as possible. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.